Let's do 10 jobs in one video.
The plan is several-fold, but primarily consists of using these drawers and a series of 4x4s to build height. And then hopefully the 4x4s will provide enough height for me to get my hand in there so we can store stuff in there.
What you're looking at right now are several parts of the arts and crafts cabinet, the ultimate arts and crafts cabinet, which I more or less was forced to dismantle in order to move. I saved the drawers specifically to be able to do something like this with them. So let's build a shelf starting at the bottom with that drawer, and then we're going to build up a shelf of drawers like this. In order to do that, I'm going to cut this 4x4 apart. My thought process is we need enough space to be able to get a hand in so we can grab items, but we also want to maximally utilize the vertical space we have available, which goes up until this stuff. The first layer, I'm going to put the blocks just kind of on the floor so everything is more stable at the bottom. Excuse me. So if we take our next drawer and put it on our blocks, you can kind of see what I'm trying to get at. It's going to live like that. And I'm going to screw this in, screw the drawer directly through the bottom into those blocks, and then build up from there. Now, for extra security, you may be wondering what this board is here for. Well, I'm going to drill into that as well. Keep everything secure. Progress check. 4 drawers.
Progress continues apace. However, we've run into something of a problem. The way that I'm screwing this shelf together is with this guy. This is a pretty bog standard electric drill. I have 2 batteries for it. One of the batteries doesn't work. Let's take a look. This is the same battery that works. The only difference is same form factor and everything. The only difference is this one is 1.5 amp hours, 18 volts. And this is 2 amp hours, 18 volts. Amp hours is a measure of capacity. How much electrons can they store? So this is what it looks like outside of the shell. Big fat 0. It's telling me something's wrong. We have 2 leads here. If we're going to follow, the way that you charge this thing is by connecting this kind of charger, which is really just 3 metal contacts, onto these 3 metal contacts, and it basically feeds electrons into these 2 amp hour batteries. If we go through and we use continuity mode on the multimeter, let's see how many of these things are actually connected to where they're supposed to be. Okay, that was blue. This is black. This is red. This is positive, red. Okay. I want to follow the plus red wire. I'm going to follow the red wire. Here it is. It probably shouldn't say 0.0 volts, should it? That's probably bad. That's probably like catastrophic devoltageation. I got a tiny reading on one of these cells. Something lower than this multimeter can read, which might as well be 0. I'm gonna see if I can kind of try to move some of these electrons along. Curious. As usual, we won't put it back together all the way because it's not important. Well, we may have to redo it again, just like the air fryer. Okay, so here's the one that definitely works. You can see it charging. Oh, that's not charging, that's evaluate. Shoot. That didn't help at all. I didn't read the top. That's charging. Shoot. See? It's a good thing we didn't put it all the way back together. I'm tempted to just leave it on like overnight and see if we can see if it will sort of fix itself. If we just keep trying to pump electrons into it. But I also don't want it to blow up, so. Big fat nothing. Well, what to do now? I don't know, I'll think about it. I know it's kind of a maybe, but I am going to put this on charge for a little bit to see if that changes the calculus a little bit. Further bulletins as events warrant. Now I have a place for the ice maker, of course the air fryer, rice cooker. Splendid, here we are in the bathroom. I'm gonna put a shelf up. Secondary plan, outside the bathroom. For towels. I care about utilizing vertical space. Here's the closet. There's me. Hello. This side is going to be all clothes. It's going to stay all clothes because I have that many clothes and more. One of my plans right now is to move this computer down there with the rest of the computers. Take this drawer, which is another drawer from the arts and crafts cabinet, and mount it in the corner over there to give me a little bit more lateral space. Very useful. Nextly, we're going to take away these drawer slides. That's kind of the plan. Socks back in. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's see what else we can, see what other kind of trouble we can get into in here. That's a little scary. Anywho, what else is in here? 2 more drawers from the arts and crafts cabinet. This one containing miscellaneous pieces of metal and sponges, resin supplies. And then we have a server and a number of computers and an old boot. This is the counter where my shirts were. They're now over there in the closet. And now we get to use this to store tools and materials, which is all we really care about.
For those of us playing along at home, perhaps one of the things we can put here is our food stores. We've actually got an incredible amount of donation from a friend, a number of friends, some friends, plural, because I asked them for help and they provided some help. Let's see what kind of goodies we have here. We have spaghetti, brown rice, and goods, including roast beef. Why not? Corned beef hash. Why not? Heat and serve. Some soups. Very nice. Love soup. Vegetables. Soup. Vegetables. Fruit. Crushed pineapple. What a treat. Some tuna. Fruit cocktail. I love fruit cocktail. That's a treat. Peach halves. I love peach halves. All the fruit is a treat. In the post-apocalypse, that stuff's worth a lot. I'm not saying we're there yet, but I'm saying, never mind. Tomato sauce. Staples. Pear halves. Love fruit. Always grateful for fruit. Lots of uses. But mostly fiber. Eat your fiber, kids. Ooh. Corn. Love that. I'll eat that. Oh, oats. Oatmeal. Like that. Green beans. Crushed tomatoes. Lots of possibilities. Mandarin oranges. Love it. Peanut butter. This is a treat. I cannot believe this. That's incredible. Peanut butter. Trail mix. And this is really special. Honey Bunches of Oats. I love cereal. And popcorn. Love popcorn as well. So that is an incredible amount of riches. And that didn't even count the stuff that we started with, so let me get that as well. That is the state of our food stores right now. Almost forgot, when we need a treat, it's blue Jell-O. It's nice having people want to see you remain alive. Moving on, not this. That TV. Oops. That TV has to be unmounted and a different one mounted in its place, or nothing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. As you can see, it is in fact daytime. It is in fact daytime, but it's very dark in here. So this TV has to come off, and we're gonna hopefully put one in its place because I like the convenience of being able to lay down and watch that. Because it does swing out. But that TV's broken. What's broken about it? I'll show you. That's gonna put a damper on your enjoyment of anything. So yeah, that TV needs to go. The question is, how do this TV work? How do flat screen TVs work? In a TV, there's literal photosensitive liquid material sandwiched in between two sort of glass light layers. And the way that current interacts with that light layer, or that liquid layer, changes what's displayed and how it's displayed on the display. And so the reason it looks like that is because clearly I dropped something on it, or I dropped it, and the two sandwich layers that are sandwiching the photosensitive liquid, or electrosensitive liquid, creates little puddles. Like it literally breaks free and makes little puddles in the sandwich layer. So there's not too much one can do to fix this, but I suppose that's something that we could explore if we were so inclined. If I die, at least it'll be on camera. I'm not saying this is the smartest way to do this. Evidence might suggest the opposite. However,
Let me go see if I can find another TV. Here we go for all of our friends at home. Yeah, that'd be a good thumbnail. You know, I guess since I'm here, my original goal, this is my main setup down here. It's three monitors. I'm going to take one of them, probably this one because it's the lightest, and mount it up here. I set this up to potentially put a fourth monitor up there, but I was afraid it was going to fall and crush me when I sit right here. I'm going to change the way that I sit in here, and so that's not a problem anymore. And I also want people on the couch over here to be able to see this as well, so it's going to be kind of multifunctional. And here's the replacement screen that we're going to put in. This way up, we can do that. I believe this fits nice and neat. Yes, it does. We need some screws though, because those other ones are not going to function. We need some smaller ones. I might only have one of those though. I think those are all the same. Okay. This is the nut that came with this mounting hardware, and it goes over the top nut on here because it's got a little bit of locking compound, and it's going to help seize this whole thing together so it does not fall and hurt somebody. These are all that same thread. This thread is odd. It's an oddly sized thread. I know we've only briefly talked about threads, but this appears to be quarter 24 or quarter 28, and not standard quarter 20, because I believe I have quarter 20 and they're not working, but the diameter is correct. So it tells me that's a different number of threads per inch. I suppose one, if they were so inclined, could go through and recut the thread and use a standard nut. That would work. For those of us playing along at home, this is how you cut threads into a metal rod. You use what's called a die, and this is a die holder. This thing in the middle is the die, and it's precisely made so when you turn it around a shaft, it will cut the thread that you meant to cut, and then you can then subsequently thread a bolt onto it, which is what we're trying to do. The one on your left is the original thread, the one on the right is the one that I recut. Here's a standard quarter 20 nut. That's about as far as it goes because it's not the right thread pitch. Much better because that is the right thread pitch. Makes sense? Alright, sounds good. I'm going to put these in my back pocket. Actually, I'm going to put them right here on the table. Don't let me forget. Not in my pocket, on the table. Not in my pocket. It's up there. This is going to be a relatively simple job, and so it's also sort of a show and tell. This is a book chest that I built. It's modeled after a Benedictine monk's book chest that he would have taken with him to a monastery or been given. It's where I'd keep all of my secret stuff. Where I'd keep all of my keepsakes and birthday cards and other things. One day we'll go through this. But one of the things that's important is that is where my engineering notebooks are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is the current one, number 7. There's a very minor problem over here on the corner. You can see the brass is sticking up, and so we're going to put a little tiny nail in that. Next plan requires a number of steps, and it involves basically dismantling and reorienting this desk. Since we're over here, might as well run some power. Let us continue to continue. The plan right now is to move this chair out of the way, take that desk, turn it 90 degrees, put a shelf there, and put this TV on top of that shelf. So we're going to have this 3-tier TV situation. Whoops. That is a glass window that went on the side of my computer. Nothing we can do about it but clean it up and move on. That means that at a certain level somebody has to walk through here. So let's get this as far as we can. Unplug everything first. Yeah, that's pretty good. Not the most room. It's not the most room, but it's also not nothing. Okay. Let's see what happens next. Oh, that's embarrassing. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we can put some stuff on it, you know, as is tradition. Apologies, I made some moves while you were charging. As you can see, I set up some pegboard, put those in the studs, and I'm going to use it to route my wires right now and then store some tools maybe in this area. I've got a outlet power bank up here that can connect to everything from up there. I hate having outlets on the ground. It's really annoying, especially because I'm pretty tall and have to bend over like that. Yes, the power strip is tilted. See if we can sneak some engagement that way, I guess. I believe that's 9 jobs. Closet infrastructure, check. Side TV removal and replacement, check. TV mount on the other wall, check. Treasure chest, check. Reorienting the desk, check. Mount the pegboard, check. Mount the last set of drawers, we gotta do that. Set of drawers, missing a few things. Do we want to mount it? I thought about putting it right here, but that seems awfully cluttered. Put it down here. What about just right there? That's not hurting anybody. It's not hurting anybody. Yeah, I think I like that right there, actually. Ding. And then the last job that I had planned was to reorient my speaker infrastructure, because we have all these speakers and nowhere to listen to anything yet right now. Let me explain. This is the audio mixer This is
the audio mixer we fixed, one of our last couple of videos. What we're going to do is we're going to output this to some speakers so we can hear what's going on. How do we do that? Well, let's find out. It's going to end up being a long video. In a 5.1 speaker surround sound setup, you have left, center, right, back left, back right. That's 5 speakers. Where's the one come from? Well, the one is the subwoofer. I don't know if you remember, we were kind of maligning that, but I know where to put it now. The subwoofer is going to live right here in this empty space. That's the subwoofer. That's the one. So 5.1 surround sound. Okay. Now where do these other speakers go? Well, I suppose we want to orient them in relation to the subwoofer, which means we probably want to be looking at the screens while we're doing that. But the screens are kind of spread out. As you can see, this is pretty wide. This is a pretty wide scenario we have going on right here. That's 10 feet at least. So in that case, actually, this is relatively straightforward. Let's do that. Where's my hammer? It's okay, I didn't find my hammer, but I found a comically small hammer. That'll be left. These speakers have followed me every place I've lived for 10 years. I bought this speaker setup and stereo whenever I got my first tax return ever. Then I bought this camera with my second tax return ever 10 years ago. There we go. There's left. They're good speakers. I don't know what to tell you. They're good speakers. There we go. There's right. Center. Center's going to live right here. If anything goes wrong, the center will work. So I'm going to put the center right here at the base of the TV, or actually, maybe just right here. Well, let's put it right there. We might need that, so let's not do anything permanent with that, because we might need that one. Back left. And back right. Ten jobs, one video. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more.